Top 3 common sayings with dark origins. Number 3. Calling shotgun. When road trips used to entail horse-drawn carriages, the stagecoach was used for high-value items, or for wealthy people to be transported in. The driver of these would be held in high esteem, and would be at the pinnacle of transportation. While on job, since they usually move sensitive carry-on, they would be accompanied by a passenger, who would sit next to them while carrying a shotgun, and their job was to protect these packages at all time. Number 2. A baker's dozen. Now hold on, because I'm about to explain this punishment by tier and perceived gender. Bread regulation used to be a thing in medieval England, but up until Henry III, it wasn't really watched that closely, so he enacted stronger regulations. People would try and sell low quality bread, or smaller than should be portions, to save money in bread making ingredients. So King Henry enacted an assize that declared any man trying to overcharge their bread for less than 2 sterlings for the first 3 times, they would pay a fine. If you were found exceeding that 3-time limit, or overcharged more than 2 sterling, you would undergo the judgment of the pillory, which is just being put in one of these things. But if you were to exceed this 2 sterling limit more than once, you would suffer judgment of the body, which translates to getting your hands chopped off. But for women, the amounts aren't specified, but their punishments include the trebuchet, which does not sound fun, the cucking stool, which is pretty much just being tied to a chair while they dunk you underwater, and the tumbril, which is just one of these cards. But these were often used to carry victims to their executions. And number 1, to wreak havoc. While it's always meant something negative, to wreak havoc used to be a cry in the battlefield for troops of England. But unlike most, meaning something like change of formation or retreat, the word havoc meant there was no limits on your actions. People would scream the word havoc, which would be followed by murder, rape, destroying all property, and pretty much anything you can think of. And this havoc cry was so heinous, King Richard II had to outlaw it, and anyone who partook in the havoc was beheaded.